Hello and welcome back to X-Plane 11. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Today we're going to be taking a look at yet another add-on for X-Plane 11, X-CPL Pilot. Now, I was contacted by the developer of this particular add-on. His name is Tino. He seems like a really nice, friendly person, and he asked me, do you want to try this out? Here's a key. Here's the program. This is what it is. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Give it a go. So this is what I am doing. All the opinions are going to be completely my own, though I have got a key and I have been given this for free. I'm going to be absolutely blunt. And in this video, I'm going to be not only taking a look at this just as what it is, but I'm going to be going through some of the features. We're going to go over the simple installation for it. We're going to look at its price, and then I'm going to try and sort of figure out whether it's worth it or not and what you get for the money. So make sure you stay tuned to see all of that and perhaps a little bit more. So X-CPL Pilot can be purchased from the xplane.org community website for $32.90, or you can get it from store.flightsim.com or Sim Market. Once you've purchased it, you will be given a key, and there's obviously a link to the program as well. The program itself is pretty small when you download it. I think it was only, well, actually I'll tell you. Let's go take a look. There it is. 48 megabytes, but once you unpack it, it is about 350 megabytes. And all you need to do is go into this and copy this folder here. So X-CPL Pilot. Do not go in here and copy all of these. This entire folder. Then you need to go to your X-Plane directory, go into X-Plane, go to Resources, Plugins, and dump that straight in there. There is no need for Fly with Lua or anything like that. If you want to use this standalone, you can. You do not need anything else. Once you've gone ahead and done that, all you need to do is start up X-Plane 11, and then once you are in, you need to get it to set up. And I'll tell you what, let's jump into X-Plane 11 and then I'll show you what you need to do to set up. Okay, so once you jump into X-Plane 11, what you will get on the left hand side is this. So it will be by default on the left hand side. You want to go ahead and go up here, go to plugins, and actually go to main like that, or alternatively you can do that over here. Now once you do that, you're actually not going to get this screen. You're going to have to create your profile and add in your license key. So at this point you pop in your license key and it will go ahead and start creating everything. It can take up to 20 minutes. Towards the end of that creation, it will ask you to give yourself a base, which is your FBO. So it will give you a base, and for this one I've picked Echo Golf Sierra Charlie, which is where I've been flying out from quite a bit recently, or flying over, which is Cambridge Airport in the United Kingdom. So once you've gone ahead and done that, it will give you one of these in red. Before we continue with this, I'm going to go over to the settings. So the settings are accessible up here. Now I've not actually tried if there is. Yeah, see, the settings are not accessible from here, which is slightly annoying. So I would very much like. Oh, I cannot get rid of that. Oh, it's gone. I would very much like if there was a button to get straight to the settings. But in the settings, you can see I've set up my company as Monarch Airways, and you'll see it says start always with X-Plane. So if you do not want this to start all the time, you can just check that and it will not start until you start it. Units, you can have Imperial or Metric. To be honest, I think Imperial units are probably better when you're flying. Currency, I've chosen British pounds. Did I just say choose? I said choose actually. Dates format, we've got TTMMYY. I think that's day, month, year. So I'm not sure what T is. I'm not sure what that actually stands for, but I'm pretty sure that is day. Time format, 24 hours. You can set this up. You can have a standard color scheme, which is red, or the dark color scheme, which I like, which is black. Menu placements, you can have either hidden, left, or right. I've placed mine on the right over there, and there's the red scheme as you've got it there. Job generator is actually a rather important one. So with the job generator, you can have your minimum flight time and your maximum flight time, so you can make sure that your jobs are within a certain area. So I've set this, for example, to 10 to 30. Let's go ahead and do 20 minutes to 40 minutes, because we're going to be getting in the air very, very soon. Let's give ourselves, something like a half an hour video or something. Or let's go, let's say 20 minutes to 40 minutes. Let's see what we get. Offset till boarding, seconds to wait until freight arrives pre-flight. That's just your waiting. Generate only own routes, water runways, you can do that. Ignore small airfields if you have very, very tiny airfields that you do not want to be landing at. For example, you can see with that, taxi routes and parking spots, you can do that. Ignore grass and dirt runways. If you want to fly only on tarmac runways, you can click that, or land and take off on tarmac. There we go. And then ignore all incomplete, so we'll ignore that. Ignore running engines. This is for costs. So you got fines for violation of minimum altitude, increase the income, and no weight barrier. In terms of the world, you set up the continent initially. So I've set Europe. You can set whichever ones you want. This does take some time. So if you are going to add more than one, be prepared to wait. For mine, I was waiting about 12 minutes, I think. You've got your accounts right there. Nice and simple. Pilot rating, job rating, the amount of hours you've done. Very simple. You can reset your income to scratch, and you've got your aircraft if you own any aircraft, which you can see here. I do not. Ramp objects, I really do not know. I haven't quite worked this out, but it is all about setting up your scene. So you can place like a car here, or a person, or some luggage and things like that, and then you can take nice pictures and all of that with it. So you can see, let's see what happens if I click show random scene. It doesn't. Search, nothing. Okay, so there isn't, I'm not sure exactly what goes on some of these. This is my first impressions, and less of a review and more of first impressions. So there are a few things that I'm not quite used to. And then you can add in your own points of interest, which would be, as you can see, we can search nothing at the moment, which is nice for sightseeing flights. Again, something I haven't done yet. What I really want to do is show you guys, once you start it, exactly what you get. So this is where we are at this point in time. What do we do now? Well, over here you can click on this, and this is our jobs list. So we have all of these jobs available. From Cambridge we can go over to Tuddenham, Forest Heath District, Ixworth, Bayton, Echo Golf Juliet, Sierra Juliet, which is not a clue, Coggeshall, Browing, Echo Golf Lima Delta. Now these are multi-leg missions, so you can see these ones are multi-leg missions. So we've got to stop there, then we've got to go there, then we've got to go there. Similar for that and that. Then we've got Echo Golf Sierra Papa over there. So you can show job types, you can filter. Route filter, that's what I wanted. Single legs only, like so. FBO legs, multi-leg 1, I'm not actually sure what that is. And you can go for different job types. Passenger, there you go, there's some cargo ones. So they're only the cargo runs. And you can go for skydiving. These are particular skydiving runs. Yes, you can take people up for skydiving. I'm not going to do that in this video, but you can do that. And sightseeing missions. So essentially it's fly over this area, fly around, and then come back. That is pretty much the mission. We're going to try and run a cargo mission today. Nice and simple, I think. And I'm going to, let's say I don't like these, so I can just press regenerate, and it will go ahead and create a whole new set, which I like that a lot more than what's the other one called? Air Hauler. I do like the fact that we can just regenerate them as and when we want, which is much nicer. So okay, I don't like these, I don't like these. I know which one I'm after, and if I get it, it's great. Okay, we're not getting it. This is very close. Echo Golf Tango Bravo is going to be very close. These are too long. Regenerate. Echo Golf Lima Mike. That might not be too bad. I'll tell you what, let's change our settings and see what comes up if we say settings, job generator, minimum flight time, 30 minutes. Let's see what comes up now. I doubt these are 30 minutes, that's why. Okay, let's do that. Let's have a look at this, and we will go for Echo Golf Tango Kilo. So there we go. We're going to fly from here to Echo Golf Tango Kilo, and we are going to take on board. Let's add that, and we'll add that, and we will add. Is that what I can take? 200. Yep, I'm good. I am good there. So there we go. There's our minimum takeoff weight, and we are pretty heavy, but we get to take 3 lots of cargo all the way to. That is where I've just realised something. That is where the metric system will come in more handy. So one of the things I would really like on all of these, that's not resetting, is it? Maybe if I do this, will it reset? There we go, it resets once you do that. One of the things I would really like would be to have a combination of metric and imperial. So for example, you see here we've got distance in kilometers. I would much rather have that in nautical miles and then be able to have this as metric. That would be, maybe it's a British thing. Maybe it is very much a British thing. But that is what I would very much prefer. There we go. That is starting to look pretty good. So we are going from Echo Golf Sierra Charlie to Echo Golf Tango Kilo. Now, what I am going to do is figure out. Let's figure out how this is now going to work. So there's our jobs. Have we taken them? I think that is it taken. There's the flight schedule. So we're going to depart at 7:45 and arrive at 8:45. So that is what it's telling me to do. So that's the time slot. I do not want that time slot. 13:30 to. That isn't a bad time slot. So it's saying we've got 30 minutes to get there. 11:45. There we go. That is a good time slot, because if we look at the. Nope. We've gone way past the time. Rubbish. Okay, let's go for this one. 14:30 to 15:30. Now, the issue with this, and I'm going to point it out here, is that if you have, let's say, Active Sky XP, that is going to try and mess around with the time. And if this messes around with the time and that messes around with the time, what's going to happen? So that is something that I need to look further into, but obviously for this first impressions I'm not going to. If you have static weather, that's fine. If you have live weather, that could be a problem with live weather. If you have historical weather, I think it might be okay. So let's say we're going for the 14:30 to 15:30, 30 minutes. I need to make sure I know where I am going. That is going to be really important, and for me to do that, I'm going to, on my phone, pick up something like Navigraph, and I'm going to accept that, and we can use the time machine to get us, there we go, fairly close. Wait for cargo. So I'm now waiting for the cargo. Let's have a look. Should we see if the cargo's around anywhere? I hear something, but can you hear something? I certainly hear something getting louder and closer. And in the meantime, whilst I'm doing that, I can go through Navigraph, and I'm going to start. Where are you? There you are. So we've got a nice basic van, nothing special at all. And what is the tablet going to be telling me? Ready for boarding. So doors are closed, so all I need to do is open up, for example, there we go. That is now boarding. Boarding done. Close that. Ready for departure. That's going to go off. I can get ready to fly. What I really like about this is this little tablet. I think that tablet is really quite nice. Now, where am I going again? Routes. Echo Golf Tango Charlie. Sorry, Echo Golf Tango Kilo, which is Oxford Airport. Really, I'm going to Oxford. That's lovely. It's genuinely quite... I wasn't expecting to be going that far, but I'm quite happy about that. Let's do it. Okay. So I'm going to start this aircraft up, just in a basic form, nothing too special. Not going to... There we go. Make sure there is enough fuel, which there is. Mixture full rich, that there. Tank in. There we go. Yes, I know about that. I'm not using head tracking today. Perfect, that's great. Switch that on. Switch those on, that's fine. Landing light, that can go on, that can go on, that can go on. Piezo heat, we do not need, it's quite a... In fact, no, I'll just switch it on. In fact, no, it's quite a warm day, I'll do it once we're in flight. And you can see here, we've got 1 hour 7 to get to our destination. We're looking to take off at 14:30. Our current time is... It's actually on here, 14:22. We have 8 minutes. I can always fast forward there. We're going to realign that. Make sure the QNH is adjusted. Just doing this very simply. And let's go ahead. We can file an FMS plan. There you go. It's done an FMS plan. But we're going in pretty much in a straight line. We have weather. There you go. So we've got the temperature, we've got our clouds. I haven't got active sky, I've just done this quite basic, and I really do like the way that is actually done. I am going to get rid of you and switch you on. How do I switch you on? What's the control to switch this on? I'm not... Okay, fine. I've forgotten how to switch these on. There is a specific button. There it is. It's that one there. Okay, I'm going to plug in. Go on. Echo Golf. So whilst we're waiting, we get this all done. Echo Golf Tango Kilo. There we go. No, Kilo. Except, that's not how you do that. I keep getting that wrong. Echo Golf Tango Kilo. Enter. Enter. There it is. Activate. That should give me a nice line to that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves to a runway. And let's go ahead and do what's... Oops. No, that's wrong. Which... There it is. Get ourselves to a runway and do what we need to do. I'm not going to go through all the checks or anything at this point in time. I'm just going to take off and fly. Now I can move this anywhere I want. This is a nice place to actually have it on this particular aircraft, just because it's out of the way. It's nice and out of the way. There's our runway. We're going to climb up onto the runway and then we'll take off from which way? We're going to take off runway 23 because of the direction we need to go, and then we'll just fly to Oxford. actually I can just take off from here, this is not a problem. There we go. One stage of flaps, and we are ready to go. Now, the only thing is that the departure is 14:30, so I could do that, just move it a little bit closer. I'm just moving the time just a little bit. There we go, so we are a little bit closer to where we need to go. Now, of course, it is going to be quite a short journey overall, but hopefully we should be okay. And I just want to see the airport chart just to figure out what runway we've got. So I think I'm going to land runway 19. I think runway 19 looks quite nice. Okay, here we go. That's not it. There we go. Let's hope for a nice smooth takeoff today. 70 knots. Rotate. Gear travel. That's gear up. It's trying to maintain around 80 knots for our climb out today. Flaps in. And we will accelerate now to 90 knots. And then continue our climb out. Cruise altitude today is going to be approximately, let's go for 2,500 feet, shall we? Let's go for 2,500 feet. We'll have a nice turn over to where we need to go. What I really would do is prefer to do that. So far, what do I think of this particular add-on? So what I did is purposefully I didn't go over, or I didn't look at too much in it. I wanted to have a first impressions, not go through it beforehand, not do anything of the sort. Fuel pump can actually go off now. Pitot heat I'm going to switch on just in case. I highly doubt any icing conditions, but just in case. So far, I think this is really nice. One of the biggest things that I like about this is the fact that it is integrated in here. I would love to see a map in there, 3D map. Not a 3D map, sorry, a Google map or something. I would really like to see that. That is the one that I'm doing right now. Should not take long at all, but a Google map or something would be awesome. Right, we've bust through where we're going to go. 3,000 feet is okay though. I'll start bringing this down for 3,000 feet. There we go. And there is our aircraft happily accelerating up to 3,000 feet. we will just continue along this route. So this is obviously one of the very basics or basic uses of this particular add-on, but from what I can see already, it is really, really nice. I am actually thoroughly impressed. I thought, you know, it's a single-person team. I thought, okay, it's going to be good, but I did not think it was going to be quite this good. I will be honest. Also, I'm always fighting with the trim on these aircraft. It takes a while to get these trimmed up properly. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we're just continuing on our way, but every feature that there is available is actually really quite nicely done. I'm going to say this a few times, I really like this. The fact that we have this is built into the actual sim is really, really important to me. I think that it is cleverly done and it is well integrated. The fact that I can even just about see through these, that is really important, because if I have that there, I can still read my altimeter. I can still read, for example, my vertical speed indicator, and that is, in my eyes, that is also key. Very, very important thing to be able to do. So I think that Tino has done a fantastic job, a really well thought out system, a really clever system, and it is only for GA aircraft, so there is a disadvantage there. But in terms of the integration into the sim, oops, ooh, that's very sensitive for some reason. In terms of the integration into the sim, it is, honestly, I think it is a flawless integration into the sim, and well done for that. What would I like to see more of? What would I like to see improved? Well, one of the things that I mentioned, I did say that I would like to see a map under here. That would be lovely. So, you know, something like Avitab's maps. So the way we've got that would be awesome to be able to see. You can see that Oxford is just there. So we are well on our way. It isn't going to be too long before we're at Oxford. Where's the airport? Where is the airport? Come in, Oxford Airport. Oxford Airport, come in. Are you the airport? You look like an airport. No, you look like a freight yard. You're a freight yard. You're not an airport. I'm sure I'll find the airports. I can just look for it, but I would like to see something like this in the background of something like this. Have that. In fact, hang on a second. This will delete jobs that are not assigned. No. Recenter is what I meant to press. There you go. Just like that. That is what I would like to see. That is very much what I would like to see. So I can have a look, and I no longer have to use Avitab, for example. I can just have that up and say, right, where am I going? Where am I looking? What roads am I looking for? Oh, this is where I'm going over. So right now I'm going over Biggleswade. Now, without that Google map in the background, I would not know that. But with it, I do know it. And that makes all the difference for something that is general aviation. So, Tino, if you really, really can, I would love to see that added to it. Other things I really like, this is awesome. I love seeing that. That is so well done. The fact that I know what cargo I'm carrying, I know how much it's going to make me. I really like seeing that kind of stuff. I think it's done. It's very cleverly done. Also, I'm noticing that this is moving away somewhat. And obviously I need to figure out what the scale is here. So if I was to do that, we're probably looking at a scale of about that much. You see, so you do maybe see if that can sort itself out a little bit. That would be awesome if you could fix that as well. Let's keep Avitab up in the corner like that, just for now. In fact, no, let's get rid of that. Let's have a look at the income forecast whilst we're waiting. Here we go. So you can see that our income currently is that much, because we're going to incur, we incur the takeoff cost, we incur the landing costs. We're going to make that much once we get to our destination, but it is overall, it isn't going to be great. So that's going to be our income. Once we land, we should make a few pounds, which is really quite cool. That is actually really quite cool. You can also, in addition to that, you can buy aircraft. You can get yourself staff. So that is another thing that you can add to this, similar to air hauler. But overall, I will be honest, I like the integration on this. The one thing that this has beyond that surpasses air hauler in every single way is the integration. It is really nicely done. The integration is really nicely done, and it just works. It's really just works. And I think I cannot emphasize how important a smooth integration is, how important it is to ensure that your product is easy to use, just like Just Flights have done this. You do not have to go outside the system to do anything with it. This has done this. Avitab is from there. You know, all of these are very simple, easy to use systems. You know, terrain radar like that. That is smart. That is carefully thought, and more than anything, that makes one of these products easy to use and more enjoyable to use. And I think for that there is a massive commendation to be had in this product. So for X-CPL, part of what you are paying for is that seamless integration. In terms of frame rates, I haven't really seen a frame rate drop whatsoever. I'm still having some issues, as you can probably see. I am having some slight drops. You can just see them over and over and over. It isn't too bad. This is not too bad, but I've been told that this is due to an NVIDIA driver, and that is what has been causing these issues. So we're okay for now. We are okay for now. But that is part of the issues with X-Plane and an NVIDIA driver. This product has not dropped my frames. If it has, maybe it's had point, and I literally mean a decimal point of a frame, as a downside, as a frame drop. And really, if you're working in points of a frame, points of a decimal. No, decimals of a frame, that's the term. Then you really have nothing to worry about, especially with Vulcan. If you have a decent system, you will be able to run this without too much of an issue. I'm running X-Plane fairly maxed out, apart from reflections, which are on medium. However, I am running it on an Intel i7-10700K now, which I have overclocked, and that is my new system, which is running really nicely. But I am running this on a 1070 graphics card, so if you have an older CPU but a 1080 graphics card or equivalent, you are going to be doing a little bit better in that term, because that is what Vulcan does. It offloads the graphics onto the GPU. So this in and of itself is not causing me any problems. I like this timer. I like this little tablet. Just get rid of that, have this little tablet up. I really like that. It tells me what I'm doing. I can abort it. I can pull up the map from here. I can pull up additional jobs from here. It is nicely done. There's the map. You can see all the airports. So this is telling me, there you go, Echo Golf Tango Charlie, Cranfield Airport is right here. Where is it? There it is. Just there. So this is telling me exactly where Cranfield Airport is as well, which is great. It's telling me all the airports. I can zoom out, there's our destination, we're over halfway there. I really like that. We can have additional aeroplanes, runways. Look at that. This, I think, is a fantastic feature. 03, so that tells me that for Oxford, once I get to Oxford, there you go, 01 and 19. Those are my runway choices. So I get to choose between that, and it draws them on for me, which is awesome. Cities. Look at that. Now, admittedly, they are not all cities. As you can see, that is quite a lot, but if he can simplify that, Tino, if you can simplify that a little bit, that would be great, and just have the major cities. So, for example, Milton Keynes, we do not need Campbell Park and Central Milton Keynes, Kent Hill, Bradwell Abbey, just have Milton Keynes there. Newport Pagnell probably can have Cranfield, we'll have. For Bedford, you do not need all of these, you can have Bedford, and some of these can be combined together. Similar for these, we do not need every tiny little village. That is the only thing we need to look at. So there's Bletchley, for example. You can see we've got Bletchley and West Bletchley. So that can be combined as Bletchley. And Oxford as well. So when we get to Oxford, you can see here we've got a lot down here for Oxford. So this could all be combined into Oxford, which would be lovely. So maybe not useful just yet. Land, I'm a little bit confused as to why land is not showing up. I'm assuming that is what land is supposed to... Oh no, land is about land airports. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Aeroplanes we've tried. Helipads we can have. I'm not going to be looking at helipads. And of course we can have water ones, which... So that is a really nice little map. Again, if you have Google Maps on that in the background or something like that, that will be very impressive. And I think that will be the next step up. Let's get rid of the map. The other thing that I would like, I've just noticed here, maybe if you click that, it shows up the map and it highlights it in red, or if you're using this texture, this skin, have it in red. If you're using the other skin, the red skin, have that in black, light up. That's where you know it's open, and clicking on it again would get rid of it instead of having to click up at the top there. So you click that once, brings it up, click it again, gets rid of it. Similar to this. So we can say, you know, do that. Simple toggle switch. I would really like to have that. Clicking on this does nothing, it seems. That's okay. And of course jobs brings up our jobs one once again. I am impressed. I am very, very impressed. This is a very well done product, and I do actually recommend it. If you fly GA, I do recommend this product. Do I recommend it over Air Hauler 2? Air Hauler 2 is different. I think Air Hauler 2 is different, but Tino is more than capable, I think, with what he's done so far, to add some additional functionality to this that will bring it up and bring in some of those features that Air Hauler has and integrate them in this. There are some things that it will not be able to do as well. For example, the amount of jobs that you've got, the various different types of... This is just passengers cargo. You do not know what type of cargo it is or anything like that. So that Air Hauler 2 definitely has done a lot better. However, for general aviation, you really do not, in a simulator, you do not need this. I would love to see this in Flight Simulator 2020. Once Flight Simulator 2020 is released, if somebody can, not somebody, if Tino can get his hands on the SDK and create something like this for Flight Simulator 2020, it is going to be hands down something I fly a lot. I will be doing this a lot. One of the things that disappoints me in air hauler is having to tab back and forth, in and out of the sim. This gets rid of that, so that problem is immediately sorted with this particular product. So X-CPL Pilot, are there any additional things that I need to comment and criticise? And remember again, for those people who are watching, this is a first impressions, this is not a full-blown review. If you do want a full-blown review, let me know. There are some review aspects in this as I'm playing it, as I'm finding things, but more so this is for people to understand what it's like getting into it, what is available very quickly, and also for the developer to get some feedback. I want to give him some constructive feedback, not criticisms as such. Maybe there are things that I'm not all too keen on, but those are not criticisms to take down, to demoralise. Those are criticisms and suggestions to see where things can be improved. And I've given a few of those, and I'm quite happy with those. Right, I think I can see Oxford Airport ahead of me. No, that isn't it. We still have a little ways to go. Once we're 10 miles from the airport, I'm going to get myself into a base leg. I need to get rid of that. That's a little bit annoying. This is set up for 20, 15, 10. There we go. So I'm going to set myself up on a base and then turn in on final. I'd probably like from 3,000 feet, I think seven mile final in this aircraft should be okay. Quite like a 7 mile final. So that is what I'm going to do. Nice and easy to do the calculations for the legs. Here's a little tip: if you're not using the ADF, I'm going to be landing runway 19, so I'm going to turn this to 219, and that is going to give me all my legs. Of course, you can just do the maths if you want to and just add 90, so that would be 280, for example. But you can just do this, and that also just reminds you whilst you're doing it, just a clever reminder, saying, right, okay, there we go, so we're going to be turning, so 419, I want to be turning 270, 280, and then 19. Pretty useful, I think. This I really want to try out with, I want to try that out with Active Sky. I want to see how that works in particular. Maybe next week's video I'll do that, because I am quite impressed with this. It has, in fact, I think I'm going to agree with what's his name, Helisimmer. I saw his quote was on the screen. Was it Sergio Garcia? Lovely person. Sergio Garcia is a very, very nice person. But I'm going to agree with him in saying that this has gone beyond what I expected. I expected a decent product. What I have got here is a fantastic product. It really, really is a fantastic product. Well done. Oh, see, I keep instinctively trying to click that again to close it. That would be massively ideal to add in. And of course, I've only touched the surface on this. There is a lot more that can happen. I've just done one flight. I'm sure 10, 15 flights in, there was going to be a lot. And with Flight Simulator 2020 around, this might be my reason to be coming back to play X-Plane. That is how impressed I am with this particular product. And do I recommend it? Well, if you are waiting for Flight Simulator 2020 and you want to get that in particular, then you might want to save up for that because it is rather expensive. If you are like me and you have things like Orbex and Orbex True Earth, you've got Active Sky, you've put a little bit of money into X-Plane and you're not just going to abandon it just like that, then I would say yes, you need to pick this up. I do genuinely think you need to pick this title up. It is brilliant. It is really, really brilliant, and I am very happy to recommend this. Very, very happy to recommend this. In fact, not only am I happy to recommend this, I want to congratulate Tino on the product that he's made. And it's very difficult for me to be impressed, as I'm sure some of you have noticed. When I review products, I'm pretty harsh. For example, I immediately called out Just Flies and I told them, hey look, this is a great product, but that's messed up. Yeah, I did say that, and that was something I picked up on. So it is difficult to impress me on a product, but this is very good. This is very, very good. Let's enjoy the rest of this. There is the airport, I think, now. That is an airport. And it is near Oxford. Is that Oxford? I'm not all too sure. We will find out. What I am going to do now is I'm going to turn onto a base leg. Let's go for a base leg, and I'm going to... That is the airport. That is definitely the airport. And I'm going to reduce my power a little bit, and we're going to start descending. There we go. 280. Coming, I think my controls are sticky again. Yeah, look, they are rather... I need to either oil or clean up something in this. Right, let's get ourselves slowed down to about 100 knots now. And we'll trim for a 500 foot per minute rate of descent as we slow down. What you're really supposed to do is slow down first. You're supposed to slow down first and then do what you need to do. What airport is that? But I'm just doing it all in one go. Keep an eye out for the airfield. There it is. That looks like it. Nice gentle descent. It said gentle, not crazy. Only 5 miles from the airfield, but we are okay. Going to slow down further. Mixture goes up. Pitch goes to full. And we are now slowing down quite nicely. I wanted to be 280, but that has gone out the window. This is where my track IR would have come in very handy again, to be able to look out the window and see the runway. But I can see the runway now, so I am going to get myself lined up at... Let's go for 1,500 feet, and then I will line up. And we are going to try and hold around 90 knots. In fact, let's turn in now for final. 100 knots is okay, or 95 knots for turning into final. Gentle, rates 1 turn, 15 degrees of bank. It's good, 90 knots. 1,500 feet. Being able to look around track IR or something like that would have made this a lot easier. There is the runway though. That looks like the runway to me, so we're okay. Again, turning early, that is my biggest issue. I cannot see the puppy indicators. I am going to give myself one stage of flaps to help us out here. Second stage of flaps will come out in a moment. Once we go over this little village here, which, hey, I can actually use this map to help us out here. What is that little village? Tackley. Once we go over Tackley, I am going to lower the landing gear. Okay, that did come in handy. That did actually come in very handy. I think I am just slightly low, but that's perfectly alright. That there, I think, is the Chiltern Railway. I think that's the Chiltern Railway. Continue a nice descent. And now we will slow down. Landing gear out. That will slow us down quite well. And I want to see how this ends. Next stage of flaps. Not sure what that was complaining about. My landing gear was already out. You can see I am just a little bit slow, but we are coming in really smoothly now. And because of the particular mass of this, I am very heavy. I am also considering... oops. Yeah, I do need to sort out my pitch. Or my sensitivity. A little bit. That's quite sensitive. I need to dull that a little bit. I am considering full flaps, which is something I said I do not like doing. And I stick by that. I do not like full flaps. But I'm going to do it regardless. No, I'm not. It's a long enough runway. I'm not doing full flaps. Right. 75 knots as we come in. We are lined up very nicely on final, just a little bit low, as I said. So we have 1 white and 3 reds. We generally want 2 whites and 2 reds, not 1 3. But it's okay because I'm doing this visual now. And let's see if we can get a nice smooth landing. I've got to remember that this aircraft is a little bit heavier, so I do have to take that into account, bear that in mind as I bring us in for the float. I'll just continue down. Make sure the wings are level as we come in over the threshold. Not quite on the centre line, but that's fine. And there we go. Flaps can come up. And now all we need to do is get to parking. That was actually really nice. Pitot heat off, fuel pump off. Landing light can go off as well. That goes on. And we're just going to continue down the runway. That was really smooth for the landing. I'm actually quite impressed. Slightly off the centre line. I do need a little bit more practice on turning without looking. I certainly need that. I think there's a taxiway at the end of this. So I am going to just pop down that taxiway and up to parking. But overall, impressions of the application, not my flying. I do highly recommend this. I said that there were some issues that with air hauler that I wanted to look at. The issue, I cannot find any real issues with this. Enhancements, yes, but issues, not really. And as I said, the whole integration aspect, that it is within the sim, you just access it from up here or down here, is really, really well done. This is really well done, and I'm very, very impressed with this. Tino, you've done a good job, and thank you for giving me access to this and giving me a key. I do really appreciate that, and continue the hard work on this, because it is impressive. I am impressed. So what we're going to do is pull off to the right hand side here. And then we're going to go over to those cargo bays just along here. We're just going to drop our cargo off right here. And that is where I will end the video. So, took a little while to get going. There we go. Taxi parking. Or parking taxi. Hang on. What's going on now? Am I not at any parking? Nope, there we go. Completing 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Find a parking spot. Set parking brake, turn off engines. I can do that. Let's go ahead and switch off our engines. There we go. That is off. That is off. Those are off. That's gone to off. Close leg. Ready for deboarding. Doors are closed, of course. Oh, that is really awesome. I am actually very impressed. Well done. And we have a flight rate. Look at that. Flight rating. Ooh, 4-star. What was... Ah, that's a shame. I knew something would catch me out. I do like this, though. Beacon before engine starts, yes. Taxi light, yes. Landing lights, yes. Landing lights on approach, yes. Technically, sometimes you do not need the landing lights. I've been told this. Sometimes you do not need the landing lights, so maybe you want to look into that. Takeoff on runway, takeoff on centre line, great. Landing on runway, landing on centre line. Over minimum manoeuvring speed, yes. Smooth landing, 2 points for that. Bank angle under 60, yes. Spin prevention, yes. I think you could add a little bit more to that. I'm going to think about that and see if there's anything additional that can be added onto that. Landing in time, great. And there we go. I made £33. Okay, I only made £33. It's about YouTube advert revenue, isn't it? Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11 and Flight Simulator 2020. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so. www.patreon.com/ecgadgets. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ecgadgetslp for both Twitter and Instagram. If you are planning on continuing in X-Plane and have general aviation aircraft, I do recommend you pick up X-CPL Pilot from the X-Plane store and support this fantastic product. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you guys next time in X-Plane 11 and or Flight Simulator 2020.